Howdy everybody, here we are again, Sunday, April 6th or 7th, I don't even know the date. I'm out here on Lake Conroe, and we just got a lot of rain, cold front pushed through with it, it's cooled things down. Water temperature is at 63 degrees this weekend. I don't know if I'm gonna have any luck up in the shallows, but I just got out here. It's 11 o'clock. Seems to be, it's gonna be a all right day. It's cloudy, overcast, no more rain. It rained all day yesterday, so I had to get out here. I'm gonna go try the channel that I fished the last video, and I'm gonna set my GoPro up on my Panoptics perspective mode when I get up in the shallows. I got a mount here that I think is gonna help, and I had some comments wanting to know what the crappie beds look like, so it's pretty much what I'm gonna do. Keep it right on my live scope perspective mode for you, and you probably won't be hearing, you won't be seeing me, but I will be telling you and probably pointing my finger at the beds and whatnot, so you guys know what they look like. That was just one of the comments I received. They wanted, I believe Robert wanted to see what the beds look like, so this one's for you, Robert, and hopefully we can catch some. If there's none up in the shallows, I'll come back out into deeper water because the water temperature has cooled down some, and we'll try some brush piles and some timber, so hopefully I get some good footage. There's not as many joyriders out here, you know, partiers and all that, so the lake's not too bad right now. Alright, well, enjoy. Doing 20 miles an hour, and look how well that's picking. My side imaging's picking up the trees there, and there's fish on them. It looks to me like the same tree I was on last weekend. So we'll go hit the shallows, try this out. Like I said, if I don't get any up in there, I'll be back out into this 18-20 foot of water. We'll go from there. I don't know if your guys' sonar will pick up that side imaging and as good as mine does at, you know, 20 mile an hour. Obviously you fly over the spots pretty fast, but it's pretty impressive. I mean, I've been running Garmin for years before all the livescope, and you know, I've had, that was my units that I've always had good luck with. Back in New York when I used to jig in 100 foot of water for lake trout, I had a colored, just regular 2D sonar. I don't even remember the model number of it, but I could actually watch my jigs in that deep of water if I had it by the transducer good enough, and I could watch the Lakers come right off the bottom, and pound on my jigs. So, but I've been running Garmin a long time. I used to have Humminbird, and to me nothing compares. I mean, I haven't bought any of the higher up Humminbirds or Lowrance units, but it's Garmin for me all the way until Lowrance or Humminbird can step up their game and compete with Garmin. Right now I don't believe they can. This livescope's really a game changer. And now this perspective mode, when you have everything dialed in right, the bass fishermen gotta be loving it. I know people like that Humminbird 360, and it's I've never used it, but what I see from it, it is great. But you're gonna see in this video just how well perspective mode works in shallow water. It's amazing. As long as you have your units dialed in, you cannot beat the perspective mode. So we are I'm in the channel, about 13 foot of water right now. So I'm gonna flip this camera around, try and get it set up on my fish finder for you guys, see how this works. I'm using my trolling motor. We're doing almost 2 miles an hour right now. Once I get up in here in this channel, we'll slow it down. Right now I just have the Panoptics viewing forward. Hopefully we can find some fish on their beds like I did last weekend. Like I said, water temp's 65 in here, so it's only a couple degrees cooler than it was. And once I find some, I will throw some jigs, some different breed lures. Probably start out with a 1/32 ounce pink head, number 2 sickle hook, and a black bodied pink tail crappie king from different breed. That's pretty much all I use, other than my hand ties, and I haven't been using them much lately because these crappie kings work so well. So now we're into 3 foot of water. Turning my transducer, you can see fish, they're sitting there. But I'm going to show you guys what the crappie beds look like. That's the dock over there. I'm actually gonna adjust the range on it so you can see out farther and see the sides of this channel. Now you can see off to the right, that's a bulkhead. I'm pointing right at it now. I'm gonna turn it so it's shooting straight ahead so you can see both sides of this channel. Over here is one side and over here is the other side. So you're really covering this whole channel as you come up through here. Hope everybody's feeling good during this pandemic they have going on. They still have me working, building a motel, which apparently is essential. That's the shoreline over there. You can see there's some rocks and it comes out around in a little loop. There's a log right there laying on the bottom. Shoreline, shoreline. I'm not seeing very many fish in here today, which is kind of what I was thinking. Well, we'll go up into the beds where I was last weekend. And these are actually ripples in the water, believe it or not. Now I don't want people that there's some fish right there swimming through. It's a school of something, probably shad. I don't want you that don't have a live scope, that cannot use this technology right now. I don't want you to get discouraged, because if you have a side imaging unit, you see fish there sitting in there. Those actually look like there's a few beds in there. Those divots, those shadows that you see the shadows swimming across. Sorry if my finger's getting in the way, I'm just trying to point it out to you. But like I was saying, I don't want anybody that doesn't have live scope to be discouraged, because side imaging will pick up these beds in the springtime. And really all you can do is find them, either anchor off of them. That's what I've been doing because it's so shallow. And just try and pick them out of the beds. You can see the fish swimming around, all the shadows. And we're about to come up on the beds. You can see there's something right there laying there under us. Here your beds are. They just look like round circles. It's really interesting. And I see shadows, so there's still a few fish in here. But usually you'll see the fish laying right in the beds. Zoom it in for you. Those are beds right there, and yes, there still are fish. Right there's a fish laying in the bed. There's another one. That's a good sized one up there towards the top. See him? I'm hoping the camera's picking it all up. There's another one laying right there. So I might be able to get us a little footage here of me catching a couple off of them. But that's the kind of stuff you want to look for right there when they're spawning. There's one. It's not a bad one either. It's a keeper fish. He's gonna go home. Need some hot grill, hot oil. That's 11-inch fish, guys. Look at his tail. You can tell that they're spawning right away, boy. White crappie. First fish of the day. Put my plug in here, keep them alive. And like I said, folks, you don't need perspective mode. Honestly, this time of year, you don't even need electronics. Just find yourself a spot like this, shallow, where you feel that the crappie are spawning. You can either jig for them, throw a minnow on a bobber, throw it out there. I mean, you all know how to catch crappie. This is just a way that I do it, and I wanted to share it with y'all. It's pretty effective. You know, this is one channel. This is a new channel. I fished it last weekend. We caught quite a few fish in here. I didn't have them all on video, but I mean, there's a lot of these channels around this lake, or whatever lake you're on. I'm sure they have these little channels. And now's the time to take advantage of it.